Happy Sunday, everybody.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning. Is anybody there?
Not that anybody's here yet, but we are.
Here we go again. Lockdown 2.0.
Oh, Tara's here.
Hello,
That's
Tara.
cute. Hello.
Hello, hello.
And Gemma's here.
Gem.
And Jill and Chantal and Lucy. Okay, cool. We're not on our own for too long. That's good.
Good.
Oh, and Richard's here.
Morning, Richard Bungay.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
So we're back.
It's cold in here this morning.
Yeah, it is really cold in here this morning. We're back online for the next few weeks, and we've pretty much just put a little lesson plan together just to kind of keep everybody who's regularly Coreflexing or yoga and Pilatesing with us moving, but also as quite a nice little introduction to anybody who hasn't done it before or anybody that has taken a bit of time out and has now gone lockdown's probably the perfect time to jump back in and start some yoga and start some stretching again. Oh, look, there's so many of you here.
So many mornings.
Hi, Yorath and Jane and Alicia and Victoria's here. Sweet.
Perfect.
Well, I think there's enough of you. I think we're going to make a start. So find yourself a space or jump onto your mat if you're at home. It's very cold in here, so we're going to stay laid up.
We're going to be keeping our jumpers on for a few minutes.
And I want you to come down and just find a little kneeling position for me. So we're going to start off with me and then I'll hand you over to Joe about halfway through. So just with your feet nice and relaxed, keep all of your toes flat onto the floor, make your feet and your ankles nice and soft. Come into this kneeling position, take a little moment just to take a big inhale breath. Exhale like a sigh, let your shoulders drop. Maybe close your eyes if it feels right for you here for a moment. Bring the hands onto the thighs and take about 5 deep breaths for me. Just checking in with how you're feeling. So if you've been exercising this morning or maybe you've woken up in a little bit of a rush, you might find that your heart rate feels quite lifted. We just want to take these few inhale, exhale breaths just to calm back down. Slow the heart rate. Find that lovely relaxed state of mind where the blood pressure starts to drop. Your shoulders release tension down away from the ears. And with your next inhale breath, I want you to float your eyes open. Start to lift your heart space up so your chest is lifted to the ceiling. And then interlace your hands and press the wrists overhead. Take a nice big stretch out here. Inhale, press the hands to the ceiling. Exhale, pull your shoulder blades together behind you. Try and push your head through the gap in your elbows. And then exhale, lower the arms down behind you. Do the same thing behind your back. So inhale, interlace the hands, push them down to the floor. Exhale, pull the hands away from the butt and then lift the chest up high. Lovely. From here, option 1, we're going to start to take some spiral twists. So we can go hands into the small of the lower back. And as we inhale, we're going to push and lift the hips forward. Press the hips forward using the thumbs into the lower back and lean the chest back. Exhale, take a seat back onto your heels. This time, free and release the right arm. Do the same thing. Inhale, this time start to take the twist. Look over back shoulder. And exhale, replace hand. Go to the other side. Inhale, lift. And then look over and back, make the twist. Exhale, lower. A little bit more this time. You can stay with Joe or you can come with me. Bring one hand to the heel of your foot behind you. Inhale, spiral twist. Find your little extended camel pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, hand to heel or hand into lower back. Lift and twist. Exhale, lower. Whatever level feels right for your back today. Go 2 more times to the right. And over to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Lovely work. Bringing your hands to the floor in front of you and making a little cow pose with your body. So the hands are under the shoulders, the knees are under the hips. Inhale, cat stretch. Curl the back by rolling and creating that lovely C shape in the spine. And then exhale, dip the lower back, pull the shoulder blades together, lift the chest and collarbones. Inhale, cat stretch curl. Exhale, cow pose, we lift the chest and push the spine back into each other. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And you want to go about 5 more times here, working through those two poses with the breath. Or we can start to roll them a little bit more. We can go inhale, lift. Exhale, roll the spine and push forward with the chest. Just start to find a little bit more movement through the arms and the shoulders and the hips. In your cat to cow. If it feels right, you might be able to start to make a little circle with your body coming over to one side. Through center cat stretch to the other side and dip. And just rolling through the chest and the shoulders. Finding a little more movement through these two positions. If you're rolling and making those little circles, try going back the other way. Still working through the breath to fill the belly as you curl. To exhale as your chest pushes through. And then finding yourself back into a cat stretch one more time, really arching through the back. Exhale and sit your way back into a narrow knee child's pose. So keep the knees in line with the hips. Extend the arms out long in front of you with the fingertips to the floor. And then just exhale, a little bit of tension away from the chest and the shoulders. Lower the forehead or rest the forehead if you make it. We're going to take another little body ripple. Just really finding a nice bit of movement in the spine here today as our warm up. From your child's pose, you're going to keep your feet and your ankles and your knees relaxed on the floor. You're going to inhale, roll forward with me, up through that cat stretch. Then exhale, push the chest forward and up, and let the hips drop to the floor. Lift the chest, find your cobra. Exhale, roll back. Hips lift first, arch through the back, and then push into your child's pose. Go again with the breath. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower into cobra. Inhale, lift the hips, roll the spine, and exhale, find your child's pose. About 4 more times here for me, please. Finding movement with everyone, finding a different route to get through these two positions. Utilizing the breath just to work a little bit lower or a little bit further into these stretches. Go one more time. Lovely. Feeling that warmth coming through your midsection and your spine. Let's start to take that through the shoulders and the hips as well. Looking at your hands and your fingertips, spreading them wide into the floor, creating this nice stable base. Tuck your toes under and push your hips to the ceiling. Find your first little down dog here for me. And just take a little walk through the heels and a little rock from side to side in the hips. Do whatever feels right for your legs, your hamstrings, maybe your spine as well today. We're trying to create that length in the back by tipping the pelvis up to the ceiling and then softening the knee bend and softening the heels to the floor. Find a little moment of stillness. Eyeball your feet and bring the big toes together. And then inhale and take the right leg up to the ceiling. Find three-legged dog. In our three-legged dog today, we're going to take a nice little roll out through the hips. So you're going to bend that top knee and then make a big circle on the ceiling with that knee. Try and draw like there's a little bit of chalk on the end of your knee. 5 big circles one way. Breathing and still pressing straight and strong through the spine. And then 5 big circles the other way. Good. On your 5th circle, lengthen that leg up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Inhale, breath. And exhale, bring the knee into the chest. Draw it all the way forward through a high plank. And then rest down onto outer part of shin or calf. Find your swan. Good. If this is too much here today, just like Joe, you're going to drop the hips to the floor, bend into both knees, find a little 90-90. We finally start to get a little bit warmer as well. Coming up onto your fingertips, lift your chest in your swan pose. Inhale, find a little bit of length in the spine. And then exhale, walk that length forward and just take a moment to rest and stretch in this lovely little hip pose today. We're going to bring forearms to the floor if that's comfortable. We're going to extend the arms long and relax the forehead, the neck, and the upper back. Or maybe rest the forehead to the floor if that feels right for you today. I'm going to lose it later as well. We're going to try and take about 5 deep breaths here in your swan pose. Thinking about softening the hips down towards your heel. And just allowing that stretch to feel and come up through the outer part of the hip, the leg and the butt. Taking a nice big energizing inhale breath. And then exhaling and really softening into the floor, letting your body and your midsection go heavy. And with your next energizing inhale breath, use it to draw your chest up and walk your hands back in. Set them to that shoulder width apart. Press the chest high. Tuck your back toes under, so your back leg is long. And then in one sweeping motion, lift your back knee, lift your hips and push high up into three-legged dog. Open out those hips one more time. Bend top knee, take the ankle across the body. And then see if you can get a little open chest stretch by working your knee to the ceiling and working your left shoulder down to the floor so you can take a little look to the right side. And structure right here. Exhale, bring the leg back down to the floor. Inhale, push your hips back into a child's pose. We're going to take the knees out wide this time, big toes together. Chest and forehead to floor, hips towards heels. Keep the arms outstretched long. Take just a couple of breaths here and a little bit of movement if it feels right. We can rock shoulders side to side or maybe just wiggle through the hips and just release any tension in your pelvis. Now we're going to come through and take that lovely little hip opener on the other side. So look into your hands, creating that stable base. Inhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips to down dog. Take a little walk from side to side. Bending alternate knees, pushing alternate heels to the floor, straightening off the spine. And then by eyeballing your toes, bring them together. Align your feet in the center of your mat. And go inhale up the left leg to three-legged dog. Point the toes above you, squeeze the butt to stay active in the leg, and then bend that top knee. Make 5 big circles, like you're trying to draw on the ceiling with the knee. Open and just rolling through the hip, easing out any tension or maybe finding a little sticking point that we can work through. And 5 times back the other way. Ever increasing circles if you can, finding a little bit more range of movement. Good, we're going to exhale, take that knee high to the ceiling. Inhale, draw it in towards the chest. Roll forward into high plank and land your swan pose, left leg forward. Again, if you need to, and swan is a little much or it's out of your practice for your hips today, we can sit and bend both knees in for a little less stretch here. Or we can roll hip to heel, chest and pelvis square forward, up onto the fingertips. We inhale, find that length in your spine. Keeping that length and just reaching forward. Exhale and walk down into extended swan. On the forearms, on the hands, or maybe even resting the forehead if you make it. Take 5 deep breaths. Check in again with your yoga breaths. See how your body is feeling here. Can you draw those inhale breaths a little slower? a little deeper into your belly. And then exhale softly like a sigh. Finding and locating points in your body that you feel like you can release a little bit of tension from. Maybe it's the outside of your hips or the outer thigh. Maybe you're holding tension and squeezing these places to protect the muscles around the hips. But checking in and consciously taking a big inhale breath. Use the exhale to soften and let go of that tension. With your next energizing inhale breath, use it to draw your chest back up. Walk the hands back through, set them shoulder width apart, and then tuck the back toes and push all the way up into your three-legged dog reset. Take that little twist by dropping ankle over to the right side, lifting that left knee, and then turning and taking a look through to the left side, like we're starting to twist through our chest and shoulders. Exhale the foot all the way down, back into your down dog, and then sit back into that wide knee child's pose again. Maybe a little wider in your knees now that they feel warm. Push back onto the heels and rest the forehead. Take a moment. Maybe rock the hips from side to side again, this time if that feels good for you. And then taking our last little twist here today, we're going to breathe in, lift the chest just enough so that you can eyeball the hands. And bring the left arm, elbow directly down in front of you, center of your mat. Now if this is enough, you're going to just use and rest on your right hand to lift and work the chest round. Or if you can, bring the palms of the hands together and press your hands to lift and rotate your child's pose. Good. Breathing that top shoulder up and dropping your bottom shoulder down. Try and find that length and stretch in the chest and that twist under through the rib cage and the belly. Inhale, maybe take your eye gaze up to the sky, just to lengthen that stretch and that twist through the neck as well. And then exhale, free the right arm, bring it out long in front of you. Allow the left arm to move further underneath your body like you're threading the needle. And then rest all the way down onto side of the shoulder, maybe even side of the head and the temples if that feels good for you too. And just reach both arms as long as you can. With each exhale breath, remember the stretch in the hips, check back in with your lower body. Can you push your hips further back towards the heels? And inhale, come back through. Both arms reach out in front. Head and shoulders lift. Right elbow goes directly in the center of your breastbone down onto your mat. And then left arm can either just be used here to push your body up, if that's enough for your chest and your shoulders here. Or we go palm to palm, breathe in and press the hands together to lift the chest. Rotate and wrap your shoulders. So we're trying to stack one on top of the other with an open chest and rib cage. And then we're tucking the right side under and lifting the head towards the ceiling, extending that stretch through the neck. Inhale and hold. Exhale and extend, go further in this twist by reaching right arm forward, rolling all the way down underneath you and resting onto the outer part of the arm, the outer part of the head maybe, and then reaching and extending both arms. Inhaling, feeling that twist and stretch through the shoulder, and exhaling back into the hips. Find a little more stretch through the inner thigh. And take one more breath. As you inhale for the last time, we're going to come back up through our down dog. So resetting the hands, tucking the toes and rolling the hips up to the ceiling. Push your way back. Breathe in, bring the big toes together at the center of your mat. Inhale, right leg up into that three-legged dog. And exhale, this time we're going to lunge through, taking the knee out wide and landing the foot outside the right hand. If you don't quite make it there first time, just take as many steps as you need to. Drop onto the back knee, relax the foot. Breathe the chest up and forward, find your little lizard lunge. And then we're going to come out of this stretch, or bring this stretch, down into the hips by coming onto the fingertips, lifting the hands and finding a little bit of balance in your deep, intense lunge, and then lifting the chest. Good, finding a little sun salutation up to the ceiling with the chest. Shoulders drop back behind you. And take about 3 deep breaths here to use your midsection like a little swing. Inhale as we press the hips forward, your chest and shoulders go back. So we find that extension in the spine. Breathe in, hold. Exhale, press the hips forward, let them relax. Breathe in, lift the breastbone. And exhale, fold back down. Hands to floor, back knee tucks. Inhale up into your high lunge. Exhale back into your three-legged dog. And then place the right leg down. Slowly change sides. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest and lunge outside the left hand. Good, set your position. Find that alignment, knee over ankle. Drop your back knee, relax the foot, and inhale up the chest. Finding stability on the fingertips, or lifting one hand at a time. Inhale when you're ready, all the way overhead. Exhale down into the hips. Inhale, lift and press the chest and shoulders back. Exhale, keep working the hips forward and down. Good, breathe in, lift. Exhale, relax into your legs. Release the tension you're holding around your hamstrings, your butt, your outer thigh. Inhale, chest to sky. Exhale, float the hands back down. Inhale, lift and tuck the back knee. Exhale, through to three-legged dog. And then for the last time, we're going to step that right foot forward, land it just outside the hand, and then step your right leg to meet it just outside the right hand. Let's get a little bit out of line so we don't knee each other. And then you're just going to bend your hips up, bend your knees out wide, drop your hips, and find either your deep sumo squat here with the chest lifted, a little bit of intensity for the thighs, or your yogi squat, sitting all the way down, hamstrings onto calves, elbows just inside the knees, and a nice lift in the chest. My last stretch for you today before I hand you over to Joe. If you're struggling to find this one, quite a nice trick if you're at home is to either roll up your mat or your towel, or maybe even get kind of a flat cushion and just work your heels onto that higher ground with your toes forward. And that's going to give you a little bit of a release in the ankles and allow you just to work your hips lower in a more comfortable position. And your chest a little higher. Just give me a couple of deep breaths to finish here. Inhale, try and tuck your hips down and under. Pull the pelvis forward and lift your chest. Exhale, soften the hips. Push the knees out wide. Inhale, take the right hand down to the floor. Up and lift the left arm. Try and open your chest or your eye gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, lower. Set to the other side. Inhale, up. Lift and open and stretch. We're trying to get comfortable in this position. It's quite an intense hip stretch for most people. Exhale, lower.
Comfortable's a bit of a push, isn't it?
Comfortable's a push. We're going to get comfortabler in this next 4 weeks. Inhale with the hands to the floor. Pick up your hips, find your forward fold. Heel toe your feet in so they're about hip width apart or a nice comfortable distance. Just enough for you to let you hang your head low here. And then with your last inhale breath, you're going to just roll through the spine, take your body up to a standing position. Inhale the arms overhead, take a big reach, extended mountain pose. Exhale the palms together, bring them down through your heart space. Take a little sigh. Wonderful work, everybody. First little online yoga flow again, done. So I'm going to hand you over to Jo.
Thank you. I'm going to take you through some Pilates now. So you can have a little slurp of your water or a swig of your tea if you've made a cup of tea at home. Come to the front end of the mat, seeing as this is where we are. Next week we need to bring a cup of tea.
Yes.
When standing here at the top end of the mat, feet around about hip distance apart, draw the tummy muscles in, stand up nice and tall, and you're just going to start to curl and roll the spine. Chin curls to chest, arms hang straight down from the shoulders. And as you come down here, I want you to bring your hands all the way to the shins, to the ankles, to the feet, to the floor. Hang your head loosely, bend your knees gently and find a wonderful fold and roll through the spine. Let the head hang, the crown of the head hang. Bend your knees even more and work your torso down as if you get your head right down in between your knees to feel that extra lovely pull right through the base of the spine. The body's lovely and warm from Imogen's fabulous yoga flow today. You're going to start to walk your feet backwards and take them to the back end of the mat, coming into a high plank position. So when the feet come all the way to the back end of the mat, body weight shift forward and you're holding here. Option 1 today, knees to the floor. Lift chest, push shoulder blades back and together, and then keeping nice control, draw the right knee up towards the chest, and then push it away. Take the left knee up into the chest, and then push it away. Option 2, stay up on your toes in your high plank, and again, draw the right knee up towards the nose, scoop belly, push it away, left leg. Now start to walk your hands backwards, push your bottoms to the ceiling, walk hands towards the feet, minimizing any wiggle or jiggle from side to side. Come to a full fold, let the head hang again. Tuck your tailbone under, scoop your navel in, and roll back up to standing. Nice, slow, controlled movement here. Take a deep breath in at the top, roll shoulders back and together. Exhale and roll again. Curl down gently. We're going to walk the hands out to the front end of the mat, keep scooping through the tummy, and this time when you get all the way to the front end of the mat, instead of knee direct towards the nose, we're going to take it across the body to the opposing elbow. So on your knees, option 1, on your toes if you can. Across the body, and other side, and then push it back. Eyes on thighs, minimizing any wiggle, jiggle, or swagger of your body from side to side. Stabilize through both feet, scoop navel, roll to stand. Lovely, take a breath. Reset, great posture. And curl again. Arms hang, chin tucks, crown of the head leads you down. And when you get there, take your time, walk out into high plank. Wrists, elbows, shoulders align. And this time, instead of across the body to the opposite elbow, we're going around the outside to the outer part of the elbow. So if you can push that knee past the elbow. Right side, left side, and back we go. Eyes on thighs, minimize the jiggle, take time. Lovely. Stabilize through the feet, hang the head, and roll up to standing. So one last time through today. And this one we're going to make a combination of all 3. Roll down, curl down, arms hang. Chin tucks to chest. Take it out long. Avoiding any swagger, activate those cross-locking internal core stabilizing muscles. Knee to nose, right, left. Knees across the body, right, left. Knees around the outside. And lovely, push it back, minimize any swagger. Come all the way back. Find a fold. Head, neck, shoulders hang. Scoop through the navel. Roll and curl up to standing. And when you get there, take a deep breath in. Take your shoulders and roll them all the way down your back. And just stand up nice and tall for me here. Float your right arm up and above you. Look up and lean back into your spine. Float your left arm up and above you. Squeeze the butt. Brace through the tummy. Find that lovely movement through the spine and go double arm stretch if you can. With a big breath in, reach and lean. At the top, come over to the right side as far as you can go. Move through the center to the left. Lovely. Reach as far as you can. And then bring your hands down to the heart center in a prayer. Lovely. Come on down onto all fours and find a kneeling posture. So when we come down onto all fours here, we're going to start with hands directly under shoulders with knees directly underneath the hips. I'd like to encourage some activation in the internal core muscles by shifting the body weight forward and picking the chest up even more. Then holding this position with your hands firmly on the floor, take and extend that right leg behind you. We're going to start with a strong lift and lower. You can't actually see what we're doing. Shall we turn sideways? Yes.
It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all. So first of all, you're going to take that right leg out behind you, hips stay nice and square, chest is lifted. Right leg lifts and lowers, slowly, 5 times. So we're going to use that same movement pattern that Imogen was doing with us, with our hips today. So holding at the top this time, start to take it out and in. Try to avoid any drift or shift. Try to keep your body completely still. After 5 here, we're going to hold the pelvis still, and we're going to start a big circular movement, moving from the ball and socket of the hip, while keeping active control through the pelvis, utilizing those internal, those stabilizing muscles. Reverse. So the transversus, the pelvic floor muscles are holding the pelvis nice and still. And if you shift your body weight forward just a little bit more, lift up through the chest, keep long length through the spine, you're going to feel the effect here. Put the knee under the hip, take a moment to reset yourself, and then let's do that same combination on the other side. Some people like to have a little wriggle of the wrist. Left leg extends fully, nice and long. Think length of lever, think length of spine, think 5 lifts and lowers, sequence of 20, 5 up and down, 5 out and in. And as that leg moves away from the midpoint of the body, the internal muscles contract to stabilize the pelvis. And then you've got your circles. So as again, the internal muscles are working to stabilize and hold you. And you're getting nice activation and movement in the ball and socket of the hip. Reverse for 5. And when you've done slow with control, your sequence of 20, drop into child's pose for a moment's recovery. We're going to take the knees even wider and the big toes together, and we're going to slide backwards into the hips. This gives the tummy a little bit of a release here. With the head resting down to the floor, with the hands reaching long out in front of you, take a moment. Walk both hands over to the right side for me, adding that little twist and that side lateral movement for the spine. Walk it back through the center, and again, take that twist, that lateral movement through the spine. Lovely. Bring gently the hands back in. Scoop the navel into the spine and come back up onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Set yourself up for repeating exactly what you've just done. Option 1, both hands on the floor. Option 2, opposing arm away. So you can take it right out to the side, you can take it out in front, or to that furthest point, the diagonal. You've got your 5 strong leg lifts. Try flexing the foot and pushing a strong heel away. Keeping that stillness, that stability through the body. Hold at the top, it goes out and in. And again, just really make sure that the torso stays still and that you're feeling an intensity in the internal core center of the body. 5 circles. If you're not really feeling it through the tummy here, you want to make sure your pelvis is stiller, your belly button sits plumb in the center, and you take your body weight further forward for that internal contraction. 5 circles reverse, and when you've done it, have a moment, come back to reset yourself. Some people like a wriggle of the wrist, particularly the one that you were weight bearing on. Chest lifts, shoulder blades retract. Take a moment to set posture, elongate left leg, lengthen right arm, and here we go, 5, down and up. A little internal shaking is good here. Out and in, keeping the activity, the stillness through the core of the body. Don't forget to breathe.
What about a lot of internal shaking?
A lot of internal shaking is good as well. It means we are getting the reaction we're looking for. We call it reactive core training. So a little bit of a reaction, a little shake, you know your body's reacting. Can you, for me, because I can't see you, double check that you're not locking that elbow out. Those of you with the hypermobile joint syndrome, be cautious not to lock your elbows in this one, so we're not putting too much pressure in the joint. We're actively using the muscles to stabilize. Well done. You have that stretch, knees wide, big toes together. Sit back into the heels, bring the head down low. Take a moment just to loosen out through the body here. And once again, let's walk it over to the right side. When walking over to the right side, bringing the nose down towards the knee. Moving through the center. Take it over to the other side. Nose down onto the knee. And when you come back to the center this time, scoop navel, roll up into a lovely cat arch, angry cat, into happy cow. Body dips, chest lifts, and you put a little smile on your face. Relax, well done. All right, bring your legs through to the front end of the mat for me. Take a seat. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of rolling through the spine. We're going to use the internal core to stabilizing muscles, and the buzzword in this exercise is control. So, come forward, take a hold of the back of the legs. Align your knees, your ankles, and your hips, so we're not letting the legs fall open, okay? So we've got that activity here. Scoop the tummy, roll the chin onto the chest, glue your feet into the floor, and only come as low as you feel comfortable to go. Some people might find that it is enough not to place the back down. Roll and curl back up, one vertebrae at a time slowly. And let's do that again. Shall we scoop navel into the spine, curl down, pressing each individual vertebrae into the floor if you make it all the way down. So again, you can use your hands here in front of you. You can slide them up the knees, over the knees and down the shins, scooping through the tummy. Or we can go a little bit further by really lengthening through the levers. So we're rolling down with arms long. We're placing individually each vertebra into the floor, and we're sending those arms all the way over the head. Take a deep breath in, roll and curl, chin onto chest, arms reaching out in front of you, and imagine you're pulling up on a rope, so you're coming all the way up. Find that fold, and then restack your spine for neutral. Extending legs if you're comfortable to do so, and again, rolling and curling into the spine, trying to get as much movement around each individual vertebrae as you can. Now we use a very slow, controlled range of movement here. Take a deep breath in at the bottom. Let the arms come forward, let the chin come up onto the chest. Press the mid-thoracic vertebrae. Press into the lumbar vertebrae. And roll it all the way up. Take a breath and take a fold. How far you go is up to you. Lovely. Anybody want a little bit more intensity here? It's harder with the arms extended. So with Immo, keep your arms in front. With me, keep your arms above your head the whole way down. And slowly, taking the breath, the whole way back up. So try again to keep your arms lengthened and extended. The further you lengthen them away from the midpoint, the harder it is to contract and control your center. And my final one today, Has hands placed slightly behind the head. Now we do not tug on the head, we keep the elbows wide and back, and we use that lovely flow of movement through the spine, curling and pressing each vertebrae. Take a deep breath, and with a slow, controlled flow of movement and of breath, up you come. Elbows stay wide and back, lightly placing hands behind the head, not tugging on it. Last time through then, please, in your own time and in your own way. Where are you going with this one today? Imprinting, one vertebra at a time. Take your time, roll and curl back up. Slow, controlled flow, leaning forward. Wonderful. Right then, well done everybody. Take a stretch, reach up as high as you can, sit up as tall as you can. Take your right arm forward and take your left arm back. So you're reaching to the outer part of the calf, the ankle or the foot. Take that left arm far behind you. Lovely. Rise and shine. Big breath in, exhale, other way. So take that arm behind you, reach as far as you can, lovely. Keep looking over the back shoulder. Let's do that one more time. Reach up, big breath in, exhale, go. Big breath in, rise and shine, exhale, and take it across. Lovely, so we're going to take it into a wonderful stretch off here. First of all, I would like you to come down onto your back. Take a hold of your knees or roll down any way you feel comfortable to do so. And when you're down, you are going to bring both of the knees up and into the chest and just massage lightly your low back. Let's make little circles one way. And let's make little circles back the other way. And then from this position, dropping both feet onto the floor hip distance apart, anchor your shoulders and elbows into the floor and let both legs flop to the right side. Literally flop. A little flop there. So you're going to start to push the back of the pelvis off the mat. You're going to keep your shoulder blades grounded and imprinted into the floor. And you're going to let that top knee flop across. Lovely. Bring the legs back through the centre and drop them over to the other side. Let them flop. Feel the weight of the top leg. Feeling the stretch through the front of the hip, the pelvis, the outer thigh. A light twisting through your torso, perhaps those tummy muscles that we worked in today. Fab. Bring it back, and we're going to do that one again, but this time, let's start with the knees lifted. Place right knee no closer than hip. Place left knee no closer than hip. Embrace your low tummy muscles as you do. And then let both legs fall over. If this is uncomfortable for you, remember you may keep your feet on the floor. And then just let those legs go as far as you can. Take the top leg higher. There we go. And just let them be weighted and heavy. Slightly more twist in this one. Slightly more flow through the torso. Roll them back through the center, so use your tummy muscles actively as you bring the legs back through. Knees no closer than hips. Let them go over. And as they get there, that top leg can go higher if you're comfortable to take it there. And then look all the way down the back shoulder. Lovely. Roll those knees back in. And this time, drop your feet onto the floor with the soles of the feet together and the knees falling and flopping open. Place hands lightly on inner thighs to press down on them for the butterfly stretch. Or if you're happy to do so today, you can cup your wrists or your elbows and drop the arms above the head. So feel how you breathe deeper into the ribcage here as you elevate the chest slightly with the arms over the head. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths in and out here and enjoy that feeling that you did it. You got up on a Sunday morning. You joined us for Coreflex Live. Reward yourself with a couple of deep breaths in and out and a feeling that you did well. Slowly, Some people like to rock side to side, forwards and back. Sometimes you can just rock through your spine. We call it rolling like a ball. So you're rocking forwards and back or side to side, whatever feels good for you. And when you're ready, can you come this time all the way up to seated? And when you get there, stop. Take a nice seat, anywhere that feels comfortable for you. Drop your chin down to your chest and feel that lovely length coming down through the back of the neck. Ease the head over to the right side, let the ear yield to the shoulder. Roll the chin back down through the center for the weight of the head. Ease it over to the other side. Lovely. And then when you're ready, roll chin to chest. Well done. Bring your head up, give your shoulders a little roll out, give everything a little loosen out. Well done, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We shall come and say bye-bye.
Little clap to you all.
See
at
who's
home.
there. Well done, thank you very much.
Super job, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you all. We'll be here every Sunday that we have to be, until you guys can too. And yeah, keep joining in. Send us. Feel free to drop into my DMs or send us any information and questions you have.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you,
If you need a
Victoria.
little hand with stuff.
Thank you, Jill.
Thanks, guys. Bye, Gemma. Oh, Freya was here.
Freya.
That's lush.
Thank you, Gemma.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chantel.
Chantal.
And Phil's back.
Hello,
Look at that.
Phil.
That's awesome. Only took a national
Tash.
lockdown for Phil to get back to Coreflex.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see you guys here every Sunday. But any questions in the meantime or anything you want us to focus on, then just send us a
Thank you,
message.
Tara.
Thanks,
And
guys.
there's plenty of other classes coming as well. 10 o'clock every day.
Yeah, so 10 a.m. tomorrow as well. If you want a little
Oh,
bit of
hi, Lisa.
Hi, Paz. If you want something a little bit more high intensity, then go onto the Progress Gym page, and we're going to be live streaming some classes through there as well. The guys are doing the high intensity stuff. I'll be on there for yoga as well. So
Yoga and spin.
we'll see you there. Don't worry, Phil. We forgive you as well. But have a wonderful
lovely
Sunday, everybody.
Bye,
See you
everybody.
soon. Bye.